Hey guys, thank you for tuning back into Albatross Barbecue. You would have seen a fair few cooks now using the Pit Boss Champion Barrel Smoker. After a few months of using it, there's a few little things that I want to fix up. So let's go and check it out, see what I'm going to do to try and seal it and make it an even better unit than what it already is.
The first thing I need to address is the seal around the lid. After a fair few cooks, you can see it's clearly starting to fall away. This is challenging my smoke and temperature control. Nothing wrong with the side vents and top damper, they're working absolutely fine. Inside though, I'll show you a better shot later on in the video where you can clearly see that there's air seeping into the firebox area. So I've got myself a chisel, and the first thing I'm going to do is scrape away at that previous seal, which doesn't seem to be doing a great job. Because I'm going to be adding an adhesive glue, the best thing is to try and get this nice and clean. So I have myself some fire rope, adhesive glue, as well as some silicone which is heat resistant. Once the surface is nice and dry, I'm going to add the adhesive glue. Then attach the rope. This is what people use on fireplaces as well if you need to seal your fireplace. So this should really keep the temperature nice and warm for me, and fingers crossed it'll help reduce the amount of smoke which is seeping out the side. Once I get to the join, I'm just going to cut it off and then apply a little bit more adhesive to really try and get that to set at that join. It's best to now let this dry for at least 24 hours. Turning my attention to inside the drum, and you can clearly see daylight. So that means there's oxygen getting in. It's really challenging those low and slow cooks, so let's try and seal it up. I'm applying the heat resistant silicone and firstly just covering up each of the side dampers. Then going to seal the base. Now my knees aren't what they used to be. I don't have 22-year-old knees anymore, so I'm not going to win any awards for the neatest job here, as you can see. But hey, it doesn't matter. It's there to do a job, which is to try and help me retain the heat and really control the temperature a lot better than what I currently am. Upon closing the lid, you can see this rope. It really should do the job that I'm looking for.
Okay, so it's been just over a week since I patched up this Pit Boss barrel smoker. It was absolutely fine to use the next day, perfectly dry, but I wanted to wait a little bit longer simply because I wanted to combine it with a cook. But for now, let's light it up and see how she goes.
As I said, I'm not going to let this charcoal go to waste. I'm going to cook something up, but first things first, let's get this Pit Boss up to temperature. My top and side dampers are going to be fully open.
Alright, the charcoal is lit, we're going to get it up to temp. Let's see how the patchwork does, see if it makes any difference whatsoever.
I'm still coming up to temp, but I can't see any smoke coming at the bottom, which is a good thing. Out the top, I can see the chimney doing its job, and then around the rope, there isn't much smoke coming out of there at all, which is awesome. Once I hit 230 degrees, I close my dampers off and I threw in some firewood. If I'm testing it for smoke, I've got to make sure I've got some chunks of wood in there. Again, the bottom dampers are going really well. There is a spot on the top of the lid, which as you can see is a bit of a problem point there, but it's very marginal. It is so much better than what it was previously. Temperature was controlling itself really well, and the amount of smoke was very good.
Okay, so the smoke is not leaking out the bottom or as much from the lid. I'm going to call this a success. So now I'm going to go throw something on, make use of the coal. Stay tuned for the next video and see what I'm cooking. Thanks for watching, guys.
I left this running for approximately 30 minutes before I put any food into the smoker. And as you can see by the stats here, I was maintaining that temperature beautifully. The cook itself went really well, the dampers worked the best they've ever worked, and the fire certainly burned a lot slower than what it has in the past. So for me, this is a success. If you've got one of these smokers or thinking about buying one of these smokers, a little bit of extra investment may get much better performance for your Pit Boss Barrel Champion smoker. Thanks for watching, everybody.